What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Not Tuah Podcast. I'm your host, and this is the second time today that I'm recording this episode. So I record this. Okay, so it's pretty late. It is 7:48 p.m. on Saturday. As mentioned in the last episode, I like to record kind of early morning on Saturdays, and then upload them by noon. I'm chilling by lunchtime. That's what I like to do. But today I wasn't able to record it early morning like I'm used to. I had an exam earlier today, and so I was out the house. I could have done another Friday recording, but I didn't want to. I wanted you guys, again, fresh off the vine, as the kids say. So I'm like, it's whatever. I'll come back home and I'll record the episode, and then it'll go out. So I came back home. This was at 2 p.m. It was at 2 p.m. I came back home. Sat down, I recorded an episode, and then I just I cloned Audacity. I didn't save the file, or I didn't export it or anything, because that's like my normal workflow, I guess. And I edit the audio, that is, remove background noise, which there shouldn't be any background noise today. Usually my background noise is the fan that I have running while I record the podcast, but I don't have any fan on today. It's getting cold. Winter is here. # Game of Thrones reference. Winter is here. But yeah, winter is here, like low-key. So it's getting pretty cold. So I don't turn on the fan as much. So I'm looking at the waveforms right now. There's zero background noise. I might not need to edit this episode at all. I'll be real with you. But anyways, what was I saying? Right. So I edit the audio, I remove the background noise, and then I export the edited audio into an MP3, and then I clone Audacity. I don't save the project files of the podcast, because why would you? What do you got to do with a project file of a podcast? And you're just doubling up on the storage space that you're wasting. So I just export the MP3 and I clone Audacity without saving anything. And then today, I skipped the exporting step. And so I finished recording the podcast, and I just cloned Audacity, and I didn't save anything. So that was devastating. That happened at 3 p.m. And I had to take a couple hours to recover. But now it's 7:51 p.m. and we're back. 7:51 p.m. and we're back. Yeah, man. So that's fun. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to address last episode number 6? Yeah, episode 6. What was episode 8? Wait, what? Hang on. Episode... Oh, okay, right. I haven't... My numbering system on my Google Doc is messed up. Okay. Right, so, oops. I'm a lot closer to the mic now. What was I saying? Let me read my notes here real quick. Right, okay. I wanted to apologize for last episode. Episode number 6. I talked a lot about my plumbing. I re-listened to the podcast. I don't usually do that with these episodes, but I re-listened to last one. And I was, quite frankly, shocked that it was like 30 minutes of playtime dedicated to my plumbing escapades. And, I recognize that it was a bit much. I couldn't sit through 30 minutes of me yapping about my plumbing. I don't know how anyone else could. So yeah, that's on me. That's my apology. Won't happen again unless I get really annoyed. But unless that happens, it will not happen again. Speaking of last episode, let's do a poll review. Let's do a poll checkup. So for those uninitiated, on every episode on Spotify, at least, there's a poll along with the episode, and you guys can vote on the poll. And I my God, can't fucking speak. I include a poll with every episode, something related to what was discussed in the episode. So for Not Tuah Podcast number 6, Plumbing and ChatGPT, the poll was: should I have paid the plumber for the spare part? Now, for those unaware, I'm not gonna drag on the whole story again. But I invited a plumber over to my house. I called a plumber over to my house to fix something, and he didn't fully diagnose the problem, and he went in with the spare part, and then the spare part broke, and he wanted me to pay for the spare part. That's like the gist of the conversation, of the argument. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay for your spare part. You should have done your job, And the poll seems to agree with me. Should I have paid the plumber for the spare part? Nah. 100% of the vote. With one singular vote. It's won by a landslide. So thank you to the one voter for taking my side. Your loyalty will be rewarded. Alright. Also, speaking of last episode, Comic-Con. I recorded last episode on a Friday because I'm going to Comic-Con on Saturday. And I half considered delaying Friday's episode. Delaying that and posting it on Sunday. So I could talk about Comic-Con in the last podcast. And maybe if I talked about Comic-Con, I wouldn't have spent so long talking about plumbing, but hey. C'est la vie. C'est la vie, que sera, sera. I think that's 2 different languages. Is it? Maybe. I think que sera, sera is Spanish. Anyways. Yeah, Comic-Con was fun. Great time at Comic-Con. I met my goat, Shikari Shambhu. Shout out Shikari Shambhu. Shout out Tinkle Comics as a whole, honestly. Haven't read them in a while. Have not read them in a while. But they were goated kid magazines from my day, back in my day. Dude, Tinkle was such a big deal when I was younger. Maybe not among like the general populace of Indian kids, but among my friend group, it was a huge deal. I remember so there's 2 Tinkle publications, right? We got the Tinkle magazine, which used to be monthly, and then it became fortnightly. It came out every 2 weeks. And then you have the Tinkle Digest, which is... I used to think the Tinkle Digest was like a completely separate book. But no, I think the Digest was just selected comics from the main magazine. But then also there were like some series you could only get on a Tinkle Digest. Not on the Tinkle main magazine. Tinkle still has to be around because they were at Comic-Con, but I want to see Tinkle.com. Very risky search. It might have been... Oh. Okay. Tinkle.com is unavailable. Maybe Tinkle.in. Okay. Yeah, for those unaware, Tinkle is like a kid comic magazine. I was a big fan of Tinkle. For the magazine, I had the 250th issue, which that was a big deal. The 250th issue. Let me pull up a cover here real quick. Tinkle 250th issue. Oh no, that was the digest that was celebrating number 250. Which number 250 is a bit of a weird one to celebrate. You know? Like you'd be celebrating your 100 and you'd be celebrating your 500. 250 is kind of a weird one. So, but I had the Tinkle 250, the Tinkle Digest 250. But then I also had the Tinkle 600. And they do like a special one for every 100 magazines. But because there's 12 months in a year, you only get 100 magazines every... Yeah, let me calculate here. Oh, it'd be 100 by 12. I feel like that's an even division. No, okay. Whatever. Since Tinkle was a monthly magazine, you'd only get 100 issues every 8 years. So it was a bit of an event. I think 600 was the only Tinkle 100 that I was around for. So yeah, I had the 600, I had the 250. Shout out Tinkle, shout out Shikari Shambhu. So yeah, I had that, and then I don't know. It definitely felt more like an anime convention than Comic Con. Which Comic Con is supposed to be like, in my mind, it's supposed to be general pop culture. You know, but we had a lot of anime people there. Which, you know, no hate to anime. Shout out anime. I'm a Chainsaw Man fan. I like that. I like that one. Sure do like me a bit of Chainsaw Man. But there was a lot of anime. It was like everyone was anime. But that, you know, that did lead. I did find a manga rendition of Persona 3. Which I went into that convention. I went into Comic Con looking for Persona merch. Because I'm a big Persona fan. Shout out Persona. Shout out Atlas. So yeah, I was hoping to cop some Persona merch. And in the entire convention, I must have checked every stall like 2 or 3 times. In the entire convention, all I found related to Persona was the first issue of the Persona 3 manga adaptation. Which was bad for me because I did find Persona merch, so I know people are aware of its existence in this country. Which honestly, that's a bit of a dub for myself. It's a bit of a W. So yeah, I found that manga of Persona 3. But I was looking more specifically for Persona 5. Because I think Persona 5, so far I'm having more, I enjoy Persona 5 more than Persona 3. So I was hoping for that. And also it's a manga. I don't read. Like, period. So that was a bit rough. And then also it was imported from Japan, Konnichiwa. And so the import fees were a lot. And that brought the price up. For chapter 1 of the manga, it came to like 1100 rupees. Which... no thank you. No thank you. But yeah, after I found the one piece of Persona merch in the whole country, apparently, I headed over to like the gaming zone, the gaming gondola, the gaming gazebo, the gaming building, and there were a bunch of tournaments going on. They had the PUBG mobile tournament. They had a Valorant tournament. They had a COD mobile tournament, and a Smash Brothers tournament, Smash Ultimate. Shout out Smash Ultimate. Shout out Sakurai. Yeah. And I wanted to participate in the Smash tournament this year, but a little bit of self-doubt situation going on. I didn't think I could beat the players there, but you know, I spectated the Smash Bros event. I watched one fight, and this might just be my ego talking. This might be my hubris. Pride cometh before the fall. But I think I could have put up a good fight. I wouldn't have won. No fucking way in hell I would have won. But I would have been knocked out first round. I would have made it like 2 rounds in, 3 rounds in at least. So always next year. There's always Comic Con 2025. Yeah. And then afterward, we had a bit of a cosplay competition, Hyderabad International Cosplay Competition, HIC, they called it. That was fun. Unfortunately, well, they had the MCU characters. MCU characters always fun to see, but I don't know. MCU costumes are kind of like over designed, so you have to buy like a ready-made costume if you want to cosplay as them. I don't really like that. There were a couple like anime cosplays where you can tell it was handmade, and so I like those ones much better. Some guy showed up in a fucking Warhammer suit. Is that the franchise I'm thinking of? Let's see. Warhammer 40k suit. No. Grimtank? Am I thinking of Grimtank? I don't know what these franchises are. I just see them pop up. No, it is a Warhammer. A Space Marine costume. So yeah, some guy showed up in that. That was crazy. Some guy showed up dressed as the Predator. What I'm trying to say is Drake was at Comic Con. But no, some guy came dressed up as like the Predator from the movies, the Predator movies. And that was great. He had like a gun and instead of fireworks, which I don't know how they allowed that. Maybe they didn't know about it. But got a pretty big cheer from the crowd. I saw Freddy Fazbear. I saw Spy from TF2. I saw Shikari Shambhu as mentioned. I also saw Supandi, but I was never a big Supandi fan. So the less said about Supandi, the better, I believe. And who else did I see? I saw fucking Deadpool and Wolverine. There were 2 Wolverines, but only 1 Deadpool. Which, if you've seen the movie, ironic. Am I right, chat? Alright, I opened tinkle.com because I wanted to resubscribe. I was never subscribed. I don't know, I said resubscribe. Oh, wait. Do they not sell subscriptions anymore? Tinkle Library. Guess what? I am now on Wobble. What the fuck is Wobble, bro? Oh my god, it might be like an e-magazine now. That's not good. Tinkle 817. So in the time they okay, subscribe. I can subscribe to Tinkle. I don't want a digital subscription though. I want like the magazine. Tinkle 6-month plan 1000 plus GST. Does Tinkle still do physical magazines? Yeah, with the monthly Tinkle. Okay, but how do you do a monthly? Okay, maybe let me check the store. Tinkle.in/Tinkle store. Tinkle, tinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Dude, the double digest was goated. Whenever we went to the school library, people always ran after two books. It was either the Goosebumps book or the Tinkle Double Digest. No one went for like the boring word book, you know. I don't think I can buy like the best of, but I'm not seeing anything for a subscription. That's kind of fucked up. What if I just search here? Subscribe. I used to want a Tinkle subscription so bad, but I lived in Saudi Arabia. Didn't live in India, so. And I guess international shipping would be too expensive. But I mean, I went and I bought the magazine from the store every month. Not every month, probably a few months that I forgot. Yeah, man, I don't see how to buy a digital or physical subscription. Oh, Disney Plus Marvel annual access. What's that about? Maybe they could get me suckered in on the Marvel here. There are no reviews. There is no description. All right. Enough talking about Tinkle. Enough talking about my piss. Let's move on to the next topic here. So some of you may be familiar with a woman by the name of Hailey Welch. She's also colloquially known as the Hawk Tuah girl. You know, like, Hawk Tuah, spit on that tang. Which I just want to reiterate, by the way. The Not Tuah Podcast has no affiliation with Hailey Welch or with her podcast, the Talk Tuah Podcast. Alright, no affiliation, just a massive coincidence. Alright? Alright. Anyways, Hawk Tuah Girl launches Pookie Tools, an AI-powered dating advice app, and it's fine? There's an article by Lauren Forrester for TechCrunch.com. So yeah, Hawk Tuah Girl, Hailey Welch, Miss Welch, she has launched a dating advice app, which, you know, I'll be the first one to admit, I'm a bit bitchless. You know, I got no holes. It's not looking good for me. So I'm like, okay, maybe Hailey Welch can help me out here. Oh my god, she's 22. I'm 20. Okay. Alright. Yeah, that's fun. Anyways. So I was like, okay, maybe I can make use of Pookie tools. Maybe it'll tell me what I'm doing wrong. Even though I'm not doing anything. So I went to download Pookie tools. And I was like, great, that'll be a great topic to talk about on the podcast. But once it was installed, I found out it's a paid service. It's a paid service. You gotta, it was like several hundred rupees per week. Which, you know, I couldn't afford to spend 1100 rupees on Persona 3. So 700 rupees a week? Not good. Not good. So, unfortunately, I could not do a live demonstration of Pookie tools on the podcast. So we're just going to read this news article, and then I'll give my thoughts on this app. After recently releasing her own podcast titled Talk Tuah, which again, no affiliation, she's now venturing into the tech world with a new AI-powered dating advice app called Pookie Tools. Little image here. Pookie tool, your personal dating assistant. And then it's a little image. Upload a screenshot of a chat or dating app profile. And a little bit of, you have a section of Pookie tools. Underneath that screenshot, we have height detector. Upload a picture of anyone. Zodiac compatibility. Analyzing the astrological, presumably, compatibility. It gets cut off. And then the third one, presumably, again, it gets cut off. Then date ideas. So let's continue reading. Launched on the App Store this week, Pookie Tools offers a range of features aimed at Gen Z singles, such as an AI chatbot to help with conversation starters and general dating advice, outfit recommendations for dates, tips to enhance your dating profile, and even a zodiac compatibility feature. Let's break these features down. AI chatbot to help with conversation starters, bro. That's like the whole point of dating. Right? You get to talk to people and figure out what kind of person they are. But now you're making them talk to fucking ChatGPT. Because that's what this is. Half of this stuff is just like a front end to a ChatGPT API. That was pretty fun. ChatGPT API. Yeah, ChatGPT API. Maybe not that fun. Outfit recommendations for dates, sure. Tips to enhance your dating profile, okay, I guess. Zodiac compatibility feature, I don't believe in Zodiac. But, if you do, that's fine, good for you. I hope it works out, I guess. I'm saying, like, if you want to do Zodiac, that's your business. I don't really care. TechCrunch spoke or talked to her with Hailey Welch and discussed her new app, which is named after a cute nickname she calls her boyfriend, Pookie? Pookie is like a very common nickname nowadays, I believe. To build the app, Welch partnered with Ben Gann, founder of Ultimate AI Studio, an AI customer support automation platform. Oh, okay. One standout feature is its ability to suggest creative date ideas based on your location and whether it's your first date or your 10th time seeing the person. That's interesting. So it has access to my location? And it knows how often I'm seeing someone? Okay. Interesting. I mean, I'm joshing. Presumably, it's not gonna like get your GPS location, which every app gets your location nowadays, man. To serve you advertisement, every app needs your location. And then 10th time seeing the person, presumably it just asks you, like, hey, is this a first date situation, or like how many times have you seen each other? Presumably it just asks you. Pookie's flirt meter evaluates your text messages on a scale of 0 to 100 to determine their flirtatiousness. I kind of want to try that. I don't think I've ever been flirted with. But then also, how would I know? But then also, I do know, because why would anyone want to flirt with me? I've never put myself into a situation where that would be an appropriate way to handle a conversation. But I don't know, man. Maybe I've just missed a signal here or there. When it was announced that the Talk to a Girl would be offering dating advice through a new app, we expected the chatbot to embody her signature humor and bluntness. However, upon testing Pookie Tools and AI chatbot, it became apparent that the responses were generic and lacked the distinctive personality that we anticipated. As a result, it felt strikingly similar to ChatGPT and other existing AI tools. I told you, bro. It's a front end to a ChatGPT API. My god. Fucking I could have made this shit. I couldn't have. Because I don't know app development. But I could have called the API a little bit. No! Two of the tools may be considered controversial, however. The bald predictor and height detector. Bald predictor, bro. How do you predict someone's gonna go bald? Can I use that? I'm losing a lot of hair, man. In my 20s, not looking good. I'm losing a lot of hair for my 20s. Bald predictor works by analyzing a photo of a person, searching for potential patterns of hair loss. Height detector uses proportions and surroundings to estimate height. Welch maintains that the tools are intended to be light-hearted, but she did mention that as a 5'8" woman, her favorite tool is the height detector. There's a screenshot of it using the height detector. Let me see if it actually got her height right. That'd be pretty cool if it did. Ooh, height approximately 5'6". 5'6". You can't trust this app then. It got its creator's height wrong by 2 inches. 2 inches is a lot. It's big. Comfortable even if it has a good personality. 2 inches can go a long way. I'm just saying. Clue number 4, the chair size relative to her body. You can't even see the chair in this image. Clue 5, the background equipment cases are often standardized, providing a subtle reference to scale. There's nothing. Oh no, okay. I thought of the wallpaper. No, that might be a box. Box tour. Yes, $7 per week, $50 per year. There's also a 3-day free trial. Alright, man. Fucking Pookie tools. If you use Pookie tools, I'm just saying there's better place than to spend that $7. If you use Pookie tools while talking to me, bro, that's a fucking huge red flag. Reddit of all flags. It's crimson red, bro. I'm not trusting you if you use ChatGPT to maintain a conversation. Yeah, that was Spooky Tool by Hailey Welch, aka the Hawk Tour girl. Alright, let's move on to my next topic here. The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. For those of you unaware, Jake Paul of It's Everyday Bro fame had challenged world famous undisputed heavyweight champion, former undisputed heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson. So Jake Paul challenged Mike Tyson to a little bout, to a little powwow, but a physical powwow. Oh wait, I might have got this the wrong way around. Okay, background. On November 7th, November 3rd, 2023, it was reported that Netflix was considering streaming a boxing match involving Jake Paul on this service. On March 7th, 2024, Netflix and most valuable promotions on another partnership. Okay, so it was Netflix's fault here. Which is ironic because a lot of people couldn't even watch the fight on Netflix. It kept the stream kept freezing. Which I think then the first time Netflix had done a live event. on their website, Usually it's all just pre-recorded content that they put on. Okay, fight card. What's that? I don't care. Fight detail. Let's take a look at the rules net. The bout between Paul and Tyson was sanctioned and the professional bout by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, with the rules being altered slightly. The bout was 8 2-minute rounds with 14-ounce gloves. Knockouts and knockdowns were permitted and no headgear was present. Paul walked out first to the song In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, alongside his brother Logan Paul in a custom Chevy Duali truck. What the fuck? Tyson then walked out to Murdergram by Murder Inc. After both men were in the ring, the Star Spangled Banner was sung by Tori Kelly. Why was Jake Paul in a truck? That's okay. And then there was also 2 fights beforehand, which I'm not seeing much detail about the fight here. Controversies, right? Okay, so the biggest controversy for those, I guess I don't know if I've mentioned it before. Jake Paul won. He won the fight against Mike Tyson, which I don't know how that happened. I was in shock. I was like, how the fuck? Because Jake Paul is young, sure. Mike Tyson is older. Jake Paul is young, but he's still Mike Tyson. I'm younger than Mike Tyson. I won't want to fight him. It's all I'm trying to say. Many criticized Paul for fighting Tyson due to the significant age difference. The 31-year age difference between Tyson and Paul is the largest age difference in professional boxing history. Former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland criticized Paul on X, stating this should be illegal, with current middleweight champion Dricus Duplessis agreeing. Fellow YouTuber turned boxer KSI described the bout on Instagram as elderly abuse. Didn't KSI and Jake Paul fight? Who won that one? KSI... Oh no, was it Logan Paul? No. KSI, Jake Paul, face-off, yeah. Who won that one? KSI versus Jake Paul, separate Wikipedia article. In their series of Jake Paul boxing matches? Oh, it hasn't happened yet. Proposing one final offer to Paul for May 2025. It should... Okay. They've been planning this since 2018. They've been planning this fight for 2018 and it's going to take place in 2025? Dude, you just need to fucking show up and punch each other. Should not be this long. It should not take this long to get that sorted out. Yeah. But anyway, that's the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. I don't see how Paul won. If I was a betting man, I would have put all my money on Tyson. I don't know how the fuck Jake Paul won that fight. It's crazy, man. And then there was the Netflix technical difficulties as well, which you can forgive them a little bit. Because again, it isn't their first time doing a live event like this. But also, you had a year to prepare. So, anyways, let me take a drink of my water here real quick. Let me take a little sippy sip. That's good. That's the stuff of God right there. Alright. Let's move on to our last topic here before you wrap this up. New Kendrick Lamar album. Out now. Came out last night. Um, I remember I was done eating dinner and I like looked on YouTube and I saw a video by Kendrick Lamar, GNX, came out 7 minutes ago. So I was like, oh wow, cool. It's a single. Can't wait for the album. So I listened to GNX and I thought, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And then I like went into bed. I did a little bit of my bedtime routine, And then I was scrolling Reddit. I know, forgive me. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I went on reddit.com. And I saw a post and it was like, new album, GNX. And I was like, yeah, I saw the single. I can't wait for the album. And then I saw another post, new album by Kendrick Lamar, GNX. New album by Kendrick Lamar, GNX. And then I saw someone post a track list. And I was like, holy shit, wait, is this actually an album now? And turns out it was. Brand new album by Kendrick Lamar, GNX. 12 songs, 44 minutes long. I dropped everything and I like sat in bed and I listened to that album. Front to back, no skips. It's a great album. I am particularly susceptible to recency bias, I know that. But I think this is better than Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator. And if you ask me this time yesterday, Chromacopia would have been my album of the year for 2024. Because not many albums came out this year. We had a good bout of singles with the Kendrick beef in April. April and May, I believe. Or March and April. But yeah, we had a good bit of fun with the Kendrick beef. Kendrick beef, not brief. Someone's fucking yelling outside. We had a good bout of singles there. The Future and Metro album, that was pretty good. But I still would have said Chromacopia as my album of the year. And then 3 weeks later, Kendrick came out with GNX. And that's my new album of the year for 2024. Let me pull up a track list here and see like specifically which songs I'm thinking of. Whacked Out Murals. Let's go track by track here. Whacked Out Murals, the first track of the album. It's a bit of an empty track, but I think that's on purpose. Because it's supposed to be kind of menacing. You're supposed to feel a bit intimidated when you listen to Whacked Out Murals. Squabble Up. For those unaware, I'm gonna adjust my mic here real quick. I pray it doesn't disconnect. Okay. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Okay. The next song, Squabble Up, for those unaware, was teased at the start of the Not Like Us music video. So that's fine. I love the sample. When I hear music, it makes me want to dance. Good sample there. Luther. It's a clean song, which is great for me because I can play it in the car with my family. There's very few songs in my library where I can do that. Man at the Garden, which I'm not a big fan of Man at the Garden, I'll be real with you. Hey Now, I forgot what Hey Now sounds like, so probably not that strong a recommendation. Up next, what I think is the best song on the album, Reincarnated. I love this song. It's definitely the best song of the album. For me, I like at the near the end where he starts having this back and forth with his father or with God or whoever you choose to believe that represents. In fact, I have my particular favorite part loaded up here, and it's like the flow of the father voice. I'm gonna play the clip here. You'll see what I mean.
Okay, then tell me the truth. Every individual is only
That's pretty good. Every individual is the version of who you are. How could they forgive you if there's no forgiveness in your heart? Wow. That line really hits. That line really hits. I love the cover art of the album as well. At the same time it feels like it fits the album, but then also it doesn't fit the album. It's great how he managed to pull that off. I like the like aloof expression on his face. I like the drip. Plenty to like about this album. Then we have TV off. Also another great moment is when he shouts like mustard. Oh my god. I had my eyes closed during that. I just looked at the fucking waveforms. I'm sorry about that. It's like I blew out a couple years there. I'm gonna like skip to that part, and I want to see what it sounds like. But yeah, I like the part in the song where he goes mustard. Let me pull up that clip here. That's great. It always puts a smile on my face whenever I hear that. Mustard. Dodger Blue, I forgot what that sounds like. Peekaboo, forgot what that sounds like. Heart Part 6, that surprised me that he actually went for a Heart Part 6, considering what Drake did earlier this year. It didn't come out as a single, which I think kind of helped. Yeah, Heart Part 6, it's very... I can't like think of the words I want to say. I liked hearing a bit about his past. I liked hearing about how, he was working to get his like friends signed to a record label, and how he considered that a victory for himself. GNX, the title track. I'm sorry, it's like at the back end of the album. I don't remember what a lot of these songs sound like. But for Heart Part 6, I do remember I had the most like visceral reaction to that beat. That's such a good beat, bro. Let me see here. Let's let it drop. My god. I have to pause it because I don't want to get copyright claimed. It's not gonna fucking matter. Copyright claim on a channel as small as me. I don't even make money off of this. It's not gonna matter. But whatever. GNX and then Gloria. I've listened to this album front to back 3 times. I'm not entirely sure who Gloria is. At first, I thought it was just like a generic woman's name. And then I thought he was talking about his grandma. And now I think he's talking about his wife. I'm not sure. But yeah, anyways, GNX, my album of the year. Unless Mr. Weeknd drops his album this year. But as it stands currently, GNX is my album of the year. That does remind me. Apparently, I don't know about The Weeknd, but the Playboy Carti was supposed to drop a single today or yesterday on the 22nd. But rumors are that he pushed it back because he knew Kendrick's album was coming out. Same thing with The Weeknd. There was a rumor that he was going to drop his album on the 22nd. But again, pushed back because Kendrick was dropping that day. But then also, if you look at the record label announcement, they only found out about the album that morning. So Kendrick, he informed the label, he dropped the music video for GNX, and then 15 minutes later, he dropped the full album. And so the record label found out that morning. So people are like, okay, if the label found out that morning, how would The Weeknd and how would Carti have known that the album was going to come out that day? But I think, like, they're friends. I'm sure they would want to keep clear of each other's release dates. Even though Cardi and The Weeknd dropped a single on the same day. But I mean, I guess that like kind of works as cross promotion. I think they made the right choice by dropping both their singles in one day. But yeah, anyways, both I'm subscribed to both The Weeknd and Playboy Cardi subreddits. Both of them were like desperate for new music on the 22nd, and they like convinced themselves it was gonna happen. With Playboy Cardi, at least, he made like an official announcement: "Yo, I'm gonna drop something this Friday," and then he didn't. The Weeknd, he never made an official announcement, but they were quote unquote hints and quote unquote teasers that were going to drop on the 22nd. Me personally, I'm like, you know what, man, the album's coming when it's coming. I'll be right here in my chair. I'll be ready to listen to it whenever Hurry Up Tomorrow does come out. Okay, well, that's been, I think that's been 50 minutes. I think we should wrap this up. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Not Tuah Podcast. I would like to reiterate again, no affiliation with Hailey Welch or the Talk to a team. I've been your host, and I thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Or both.